Hey, folks, and welcome to Drinking Alone with Friends, a podcast where three friends drink alone together. My name's Chris.
Party people! It's Tud.
And I'm Obert, a regular person.
Right, I'm a dad person, so I don't get to party people anymore.
Why are you a
Okay.
party people, Todd?
Well, we just got done with the national holiday. It's still party time, right?
Didn't you hear all parties have been canceled until
Right.
until end of the NFL CBA agreement?
No,
Yeah.
we can have 100 people here in Connecticut now at a party.
100 people. What are you guys doing?
100 people.
What are you having corona orgies up there? Jeez.
We don't have coronavirus at the moment.
No,
Oh.
it's all done. All done in Connecticut.
It's eradicated.
It's
Tud-
not
Tud
eradicated,
has
but it's
burned his
going the
mask.
wrong way, or it's going the right way, I guess.
They attached all their masks to fireworks as they shot
Right.
them up
We're
in the
done with
air.
Corona forever. This will never come back to bite us.
This seems like the best idea. And down here, they actually just mandatorialized masks for
Oh.
us. So legalized masks.
Illegalized no masks.
Yeah. The CBA's everywhere. Oh, but how was your party, people, Tud? How was the party for the people?
It was good. I saw some people. I didn't see a lot of people, but I did go to a brewery.
Ooh.
On the 4th?
On the 4th. There were breweries open on the 4th. I also went to a brewery on the 3rd. We could talk about that too. Highly disappointed with that brewery. You guys already got my text message thoughts about that.
Oh, yes, we did.
I was far out of service, so I got it when I came back. But
I'm just gonna do it now. Screw it. Powder Hollow.
tell us why you're cranky, Tud.
Yeah. Tell us why you're cranky.
We're gonna go right into why Tud is cranky. Powder Hollow, Enfield, Connecticut. They also have a tap room in Manchester, or in Middletown, and I can't figure out why. Their beer is just. It's probably for somebody. I mean, they had people in their tap room, but it wasn't for me. At the same time, too, everybody in there was not wearing a mask, including the employees, which kind of put me off, too. They were wearing a mask when we walked in, but as we left, everybody was no longer wearing masks.
Well, that's because they got the announcement that there's no more Corona.
Right, the Corona's done.
Corona's dead for 4th of July.
Yeah.
They have their Firefly IPA or something like that.
No, so that's Firefly Hollow.
Oh,
which is
it's a
another
different brewery?
Right.
Correct. Firefly Hollow is a good brewery.
That is a good brewery, yes.
They're somewhere up 395 a ways, right?
They're in Waterbury.
Okay.
Oh,
never mind.
Powder Hollow is in Enfield, and I could safely say their tap room was very nice. They're also attached to a winery. Didn't try the wine. Didn't feel the need to after we tried the beer. Probably will never go back.
Maybe they're known for their wine. Who knows?
Maybe.
You know, it's funny you bring them up because I remember years ago now when I was living in Connecticut, I was tricked into buying some 4-packs from them. And a guy,
I like the idea that like you have to be really, really convinced to buy beer. Like I know I don't normally buy beer, but
No, after drinking this beer on Friday, you have to be convinced to buy this beer.
Well, I mean, I remember it being fine. It was fine, but they compared it to the Sip of Sunshines. They're like, this is just as good. And I don't know if they were trying to unload it or what, but it was fine. It was fine, but it was not. I was like, this is what they hyped up for me? Okay, all right. I guess.
We just had a conversation on our pregame about like different when you go into a place and you ask, what do you recommend? That's my fear sometimes that they're just trying to unload stuff and maybe you got pawned off. You got shoveled some beer.
Some old beer or something, yeah. But
that's what it sounds like to me. I would say that I know how we always say here that we can be bought.
Tud has some standards, is what he's trying to say.
Right.
I'm honestly really debating saying that the brewery that shall not be mentioned because they're the worst brewery in the state and they should really sponsor us, but they don't. They happen to have a really nice brewery location.
Right.
The one that makes you cranky.
The one that makes you cranky. Right.
Yeah, the one that should sponsor this segment. I'm going to say that from now on, we have to refer to Powder Hollow in place of them. Stony Creek, you can now be mentioned on the podcast. You still should sponsor my segment, but from now on, Powder Hollow is by far the worst that I've had.
And I like Stony Creek. I've always liked Stony Creek.
Yeah,
Thimble
they've always
Island,
been one
you
of my
could get
favorite.
out. Thimble
Right.
Island, out of here.
Unless they've started doing something different.
Thimble Island has gotten like significantly better.
Really? Okay, they better have, because they were garbage, hot garbage before, and that's not how I want beer. I want beer cold. Anyways, so Tud.
So what was your 4th of July brewery?
Right. Where's the 4th of July?
Yeah, so we went to 12% Beer Project down in North Haven.
Nice.
West Haven or East Haven or whatever haven it's in.
I think it's
in one
Haven.
of the havens that's not in New.
I think it's
not
North
New
Haven.
Haven.
I tried to go there when I was last time I was visiting, but they're only open a few days a week, or they were when I was there. So I did not get to go. But you did.
Now they're open 7 days a week. Obviously with Corona, you can't sit inside. I don't know why, because some other breweries you can, but this one said we had to sit outside, which is fine. It was a really nice day. It was 85 and sunny. So we got to sit out there, and they have a really cool setup where you mark what beer you want on a piece of paper and put it in like a piece of paper holder, and they come by and they take it, and then they bring you your beer. And they also give you free chips to get around the requirement to having food. So we got some nice onion and chive chips, and overall just had a lot of really good beer. Their beer is fantastic, as I've pointed out multiple times in the podcast, and their brewery location for an outdoor place was fantastic too. We even had some planes fly by in the sky that wrote "Hot Summer Fun at Mohegan Sun" to just prove how far along in the process we are of opening up here in Connecticut. Mohegan Sun is open, and they don't require masks.
Not only are they open, they're still spending money on sky writing. So
Right.
Correct. And they took all their masks and they launched them into outer space.
Yeah. First masks on the moon. Well, that's cool. I know we've talked about 12%, like basically since the beginning of the podcast. I think we've talked about them. And was that your first time going?
It was my second time going.
Okay.
We went probably like their first or second or third weekend they were ever open. So they didn't have everything up and running. They had like 6 beers on tap when they have like 12 taps. This past weekend was a much smoother experience. And I think people are just generally happy to be outside and drinking good beer.
Right.
And as I've said before, 12% is putting out, it doesn't matter the brewery that's coming out of 12%, they're putting out consistently probably the best beer that the state has to offer on any day of the week.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Really cool. Obert, did you do anything fun for the 4th? You said you were lost out of cell service.
Yeah, I was about as socially distant as you can get, I think.
Okay. Still wearing a mask, of course.
Still wearing a mask. Yeah, I was in the Crazy Mountains in kind of central Montana, I guess you could say, west of Billings, northeast of Bozeman. But so
did you hike by yourself?
No, I went backpacking and I took popcorn, obviously. So we went. This is my second 10,000 footer in Montana. So this was the only time I've ever seen my dog actually tired, was after this hike. So, but yeah, I managed to, some snow crossing. And I think before I moved to Montana, I would have thought the idea of snow on the 4th of July was preposterous, but not anymore. So waded through some deep snowbanks, enjoyed one of the beers Sal sent my way.
Like how deep?
Yeah, I mean, you not only snow on the 4th of July, but deep snow on the 4th of July.
Well, it wasn't snowing. This is like snow that hasn't melted yet.
Okay. Still,
right.
But
Still, how deep?
Well, there's parts where there's streams that are running under the snow and you have to walk over on a snow bridge kind of. I don't know. The deepest snow was probably, I don't know, 18 inches maybe. Nothing above my knee. But when you're hiking in Montana, if you're going to go up an elevation early in the season, you buy gaiters, they're called. And they kind of go around your boot and in a way so that like no snow can get in. Basically. So I had my gaiters on and I did pretty good. It was a beautiful day. It was like 70 degrees. But
nice.
Yeah. This is in the Crazy Mountains. I camped at Twin Lakes.
This is considered early in the season. It's July.
Right. So the season for in Montana for the summer is pretty short. The snow's almost off all of the mountains except for where there's glaciers year round. And we'll start getting forest fires in about 4 weeks. So you have about a month. You have about a month to really get all of your perfect summertime conditions in, and then you have to worry about fires breaking out. So
yeah, you get a month of peace between Ice Age and Hellfire. Nice.
Yeah, it's more smoke than fire.
Okay. Hell smoke.
Yeah. It's nothing that you can't handle. It's not fun to climb a mountain when you get to the top and it's all just kind of smoggy.
Yeah.
So
I hear that.
But it was great. It was great weekend, and didn't run into anybody. So no coronavirus for me.
No corona.
And did you have the day off at least, Chris?
I had the day off, and that's pretty much the peak of my 4th of July. I mean,
did you watch fireworks or
not really?
Hamburger?
I mean, the neighbors were shooting off fireworks a lot, and I looked out the window at one. I was like, that's enough for me.
Chris saw a firework.
I saw a firework. No, so I mean, I'm gonna have another kid in like, I don't know, 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, who knows? And so we didn't do much. We just kind of getting the house ready for that. And my computer broke, so that was super fun. I was working on that, and other than that, everything's still closed because coronavirus is live and well down here. So it's great. It's amazing. But I do, if you don't mind, I would like to start drinking if that's
please.
Okay. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
And this beer is kind of in homage to my 4th of July. This is from Gizmo Brewworks. It's
called
the
One Lone Firework. No.
one lone firework and a pregnant wife. It's
oddly specific beer.
Yeah, I saw it and it just spoke to me for some reason. They're starting to hone in on me. They know where the money's at. And this is their Shelter in Place series, which is a double New England double IPA, New England style IPA. So I got a giggle out of it because of the whole Shelter in Place thing. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So
it looks so. This is a IPA from Gizmo, and
Yep.
Are they a North Carolina brewery?
they are. They're out of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Raleigh.
And I think they also have a location in Chapel Hill, if I was reading correctly. So 2 locations.
That's like 3 or 4 hours from you, right?
Yeah, no, Raleigh's. Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's probably about 4 hours. So it's 8.5% alcohol by volume. It's got, let me see, Apollo Sultana hops, which is, I don't hear about those very often.
No, me neither.
Yeah, well, might have to. If I was prepared, I'd do a hoppy hour on them. But let me see. 8.5, 84 IBU, 6 SRM. It says it right on here.
Okay.
Hoppy tropical dark. A fine choice for chores around the house, forgetting daycare is closed, and avoiding panic buyers.
Nice.
So pretty good.
So can we see what a 6R SRM beer looks like?
Yeah. So 6 SRM beer. I think this is kind of what Obert was talking about. You might not be able to. It does. I can tell you, it looks very clear.
Yeah,
very
it definitely
light.
looks filtered.
Yeah, definitely filtered. So
That's apparently deep gold is what Google is telling me a 6 on the SRM is called.
I you know what? It is. I would say deep gold. I would say deep gold. Holding up to the light, looks deep gold. Let me see. What kind of smell taste do I get? There's some tropical fruity notes on it. Can't really pick it out right now. Maybe a pineapple, maybe. But let's see what the mouth tastes like.
Beer is good. Beer is good. Beer is good. It's on. Beer is good. Beer is good. Beer is good.
Is it good?
It is good. It is good.
Hopefully it's good after that.
I know.
Let's go drink some beer.
Apparently they weren't done.
What did you play that again? You must have. Yeah. So it is bitter. It's very bitter, which is not always what I consider my New England IPAs. But it is very bitter. You do get some tropical notes and some. Let me see. The end's a tad malty. I don't know how old this can is, so it might be a little bit on the old side, but I assume not. Oh wait, hold on. Yes, I do. No, it's May, end of May.
So it's basically new.
Yeah, it's not bad. So the tail end aftertaste is a tad bit malty. Nothing too crazy. But you get punched in the face with a decent amount of bitterness. 84 IBUs that's getting up there. You get a little bit of that tropical taste that I get in the middle. Then it kind of starts to fade into malt backbone and ending with like maybe a tiny bit of pininess and then malt. So not a bad beer.
Tell me more about these tropical flavors, Chris.
What do you want to know?
If you say tropical flavors,
he wants you to dissect them.
Yeah, is there a particular fruit, or are we just going with a cornucopia of tropical fruits?
Well, he did mention the pineapple.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one that sticks out to me is a pineapple, but I mean, that's what I get. I definitely smell pineapple, so I'm going to stick with that. I don't really get much else out of it other than that. It's not a bad beer. I don't know if I'd call it a New England IPA though. That's my thing. I mean, New England IPAs, they have a little bit of a kick, a little bit of a bite to them, but this is a decent amount of bite. There's not a lot going on to cover up some of the hoppiness, which I don't mind, or the bitterness, I should say. I don't mind it, but I know a lot of folks would be turned off by it. So, I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I'm gonna give it 3.5. Not bad. I'm glad I tried it. I'm like I said, I wonder if there's a series. Like it says a shelter in place series, but I wonder if there's additional beers in the shelter in place series.
Oh,
yeah. But
I can safely tell you that there's at least a few other ones.
Okay, cool. Well, I like that. So maybe this must be like an experimental series while everybody's locked up at home. I'm gonna say, let me see. The Untappediverse is gonna say that this is a 3.83.
And just to clarify, this is the New England IPA, or the Double New England.
The Double New England, yeah. However it's said in there, yeah.
So very close.
Ah, damn it.
3.92.
Okay. Respectable.
So, only 300 check, or you're going to be the 300th check-in when you check this in.
I'm gonna have to check it in now. I want to make sure I get number 3 hundo. Yeah, it's 3.92. I can see it. I don't know much about Gizmo Brew Works, so if you want to fly me out to Raleigh and put me up in a 5-star hotel and have me taste all your beers, and just reach out, dawfpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll make something happen. We can get down with this. But
is Raleigh a plane ride for you? How far away is that?
No, it's like 4 hours, but I don't want to drive.
Right.
So
you'll do it if they fly you. Right.
Yeah, I mean, if they send like a limo to come get me, that's okay too.
Okay.
Like
okay.
I'll be. You know what?
We could talk. We'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk.
We're open to options.
No less than a limo though. You send a town car, I'm sending that back away. It's going back the other way. You mail me a Greyhound ticket? No way.
Now, what if they sent you a Traverse?
Well,
and said,
obviously.
we'll drive in this.
Obviously. I mean, I feel at home in a Traverse. I spend most of my days in a Traverse.
I feel like that would be a really good segue to a segment we're not doing anymore.
Right. Speaking of that.
About how you review a beer.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm just gonna hop in here and do my review. This week, I'm in the process of trying to clean out the bottles of beer that I have in my house. So I picked this bottle up at one point for about $5. It's called Bay and Pepper Your Brett's. It's by Against the Grain Brewery, so they always have some interesting bottle art or can art. So this is a person with a hop head sitting in a bath or a pot of like a pot on top of fire.
Yeah, like you're making hop person stew.
Yeah,
there you go.
Everybody
it reminds me of like those old Bugs Bunny cartoons where he's like in the stew with the cannibals about to eat him.
Yeah.
Sitting in the pot on the fire. Yeah.
He's like chopping up his own carrots inside the stew. Yeah.
Right.
I know what you're talking about.
We've seen that one.
Yeah, we've all seen that one.
So based on the bottle, they teamed up with a beer-focused chef and a strange brewer, both from Holy Grail, the chef from the Holy Grail Chef, and a brew master from RTG. So it only made sense that they would work together on this bright, savory, and spicy saison. What didn't and doesn't make sense is the name Bay and Pepper Your Brett's. What if it's good? But if it's good, does it have to make sense? That's what the bottle says. 6.8% ABV. It's a bomber, and it's supposed to be served at 48 degrees. So it's been out of the fridge for a little bit now. Hopefully, I've honed right in on the temperature that it's supposed to be. On the nose, it smells like a saison. Very tart on the nose flavors there. Maybe a little bit of spice. I mean, I guess there's supposed to be pepper in here, so let's check it out.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Right. This is my least favorite one. It's my least favorite one. I hate it.
So, on the flavor, or on the mouth, I don't get a lot of heat. Like none at all. I was expecting some peppers. I got none.
Does it taste? Do you get like sweet peppers or like green peppers or any kind of peppers? Black peppers?
No peppers. You know what I get, and it's really weird, is I get a lot of banana. Like ripe banana. And then it's very dry on the back end. I wonder if that's is that supposed to be like a pepper flavor?
Well, Brett's are normally pretty dry.
Right.
It's like the stuff. That's like the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's not the best. It's not exactly what I was expecting. Um, it starts off like acting like it's gonna kind of be, a little bit tart, but the tartness never gets there. It's really only from the smell, and then it goes right off into that really ripe banana, like almost blackish banana type flavor, and then it kind of fades away to that dry taste where I feel like, based on this name of this beer, it should be spicy. Like it should have finished up, gone banana into like something like spicy to kick you in the teeth with, and it just didn't happen.
So you said that you've had this kind of in the fridge for a little bit. Is it possible that it just with age has faded? How old is this beer?
I have no idea how old it is. It was on closeout, I can tell you that, but it was sealed with a wax cap, so it's meant to be aged.
Oh, so that's why you were cursing at the beginning of the episode.
Yes, yeah, I was having a very difficult time with the wax covering on.
I could only see like the back of you and just hear you like cursing and struggling to open the beer. I had no idea what was going on.
Yes. That's awesome.
I guess that would make sense from people who didn't see what I was doing. I was sitting over there with an X-Acto knife, trying not to cut my thumb off, but also trying to get through the thick layer of wax that had been on this bottle.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, just very disappointing. I went in with high hopes. I thought that for sure.
This $5 closeout beer would have been your new favorite.
Well, I like Against the Grain. Most beers that Against the Grain do or does or brew, however you want to say that, most beers that they brew are really good.
Yeah, I mean I can attest to that one too. Yeah, I
don't think I've ever had anything from them.
Really?
Is there anything that they're known for that I might have heard of?
The Brown Note, you'd probably know.
I think we talked about that on the show.
Yeah.
For the guy
was
getting,
it
poked in the butt with poop?
35,000? Is that the one? It's like a stout, I think. They have like really funny can art. That's like
okay.
And
it says here I think they're from Louisville. Yeah, Louisville, yes. Kentucky.
Yeah.
All of their can art is usually a little bit off the mark. It's a little bit against the grain, if you will.
I see
what? I see what you did there.
No, I'm going to give this. I'm really disappointed. I'm going to give it a 3.5. I don't think it's low enough to give it a 3.25. Because it's still drinkable. Like it's good for what it is, but I just feel like I'm missing a third of the flavor that I was supposed to get.
Maybe if you paid $20 for it, you could be rated less. But for $5, I mean,
for $5, it was a value.
Right.
I'm gonna guess the Untapped verse. People usually like Against the Grain, and if let's say I got a bad bottle, or if it did fade away over time, I bet you this is a little bit higher. I'm gonna say that the Untapped verse is probably like a 3.77.
Not too far off. It's a 3.64 with 28-25 check-ins.
Mm-hmm.
So I was close.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah.
Like right
in between. Did
between.
anybody mention spice?
Yeah, spicy, peppery. These are their supplied notes, but nothing that I saw in my perusing the reviews did anybody really say it was spicy.
Yeah. Really nice, borderline great. 4.5. Whoa. James was a little drunk at the time. Yeah, no, nothing too crazy. No one says there's any spice. I mean, the pepper could, of course, just be pepper, and not
like bean bell pepper.
I thought you were talking about like a jalapeno or something, but it could.
Well, that's what I was hoping it was.
Jimmy M says milder, wild, rustic number, but nicely spices with fennel, anise, earthy tones, and warming Szechuan type pepper notes.
Oh, so that does make it
But,
sound like it's a little hot.
Yeah,
I mean,
who knows?
Szechuan type pepper notes is a little on the spicy side.
That's what you would think it would be, but
Right.
it was
Yeah.
it was just really lacking in that department.
Maybe it's just black pepper.
Then maybe it. Yeah, maybe that if that's what that's supposed to be.
I don't know, but well, that's 2 3.5s in a row. I mean,
Yeah,
I
Obert,
hope
it's up to you.
Obert saves the day.
Well, we'll see, because again, I told you about how I went to the store,
Mm-hmm.
went to the bottle shop, and the guy behind the counter totally sold me on this one. This is
Oh no.
I would laugh because he did the same my pre-game beer, but that fell a little short. What I have here is a beer from Breakside out of Portland. I had their coconut collaboration with Fremont on the show before,
Mm.
but this is
You
for
like
those
that
of you.
one, right?
Yeah, I hadn't really had much of their beer before. They seem pretty renowned in Portland. I didn't go there when I was in Portland. But for people who are suckers like me for limited edition beers or limited edition things in general, this one I could not, I couldn't miss this one. So this is their Seeker IPA series. And it's an interesting take on a kind of a rotational, one-off beer series, because it says here that it pushes the boundaries of what an IPA can be, crafted with our own Northwest spin, seeking new territories of refreshment. And then it says under it, a new beer each month. Check out the bottom of the can to see which one you got. So the kind of the
Ooh.
gimmick is you buy it and then you check and you see, or you're in the store and you look and see what it is. So it has a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has a list of 6 different IPAs. Some are hazy, New England or New Zealand style, Austin style. But as the guy at the store was,
I'm very intrigued by New Zealand and Austin.
I mean,
Hopefully
I'm
that's what you
assuming.
have.
So the New Zealand style is called Hale Nelson. So I just assume it's made with Nelson hops, which we know are from New Zealand.
Right.
But how the guy in the store sold it to me is this is one that is not even on the list. This is like this is a secret beer,
Whoa,
a secret
boy.
Seeker series. So
You
you
have to
look
be
on the
super
bottom of the
special to be
can.
not on the list.
Exactly. So it says on the bottom of the can, seek no further. And then it's a cryo IPA dated 5/21/20.
Wow.
You were just saying
Okay.
that you want to try other cryo beers, so
You're right. Yeah. So we'll see how this one holds up. I was going to bring a different beer on the show tonight. I decided to pull an audible, and I wanted to drink this as fresh as I could. This late into our recording, it's a little warmer than I would like an IPA, especially cryo IPA, to be. But we'll see how it is here. But like I said, I'm just a total sucker for these kinds of things where it's like, a secret beer. And I normally like to read a little bit about the brewery, and I totally avoided looking up this beer at all because I didn't want to spoil any of the secret, but I'd love to learn more about this beer. So, it's definitely not a hazy.
Nope.
Yeah, this is also like a similar color to what Chris had, maybe even a little bit lighter. Instead of, what did we say your beer color was? We called it deep gold.
Yes.
it was
Which is a
6. I
6.
think we all have the same color. By the way,
This is probably even a little lighter. I would put this at maybe a 5, which is somewhere between deep gold and pale gold.
Yeah.
In terms of the smell tastes, I get a little bit of juiciness, but not an overwhelming amount. Again, with it being filtered like this, I don't think you're going to get strong aromas. It's not like it hits you in the face.
but keep in mind it is secret, so
It is a secret, so
there could be secret flavors too.
that's true. We'll give you a mulligan on that one, Tud. Pick a new song.
Try again.
I liked it because it was supposed to be kind of like secret, right? Like,
Oh, sorry, I always forget the sounds my phone before these recordings.
Beer is good. Beer is good. Beer is good.
Okay.
It's done.
I don't have whimsical, magical sound.
Sounds. No, that's too bad. So first impressions, solid IPA. Nothing overwhelming with the hop intensity. I would assume the SRMs on this beer were like a super. This SRMs maybe would be around a 50, maybe a 60.
And by that you mean IBUs.
Sorry, let me take that whole thing again. Yeah. This isn't a super bitter beer. I would say on the IBUs, this is maybe like 50s or 60s. It's very well-rounded IPA. Again, not super juicy, not super bitter. We talked about cryo IPAs in my Hoppy Minute. I must have been 3 episodes ago now.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really come to any kind of consensus on what cryo hopping really does, other than it really just allows some more of the hop extracts to be concentrated down.
It makes your beer more like RoboCop.
Yes, I think that was what we decided. That it's the beer of the future. The T1000 of beers.
Right,
so Chris
right,
is
right.
a big fan.
Yep. Anything Terminator related. Terminator or Chappie related.
Yeah. This is great. This is a good IPA. It's not anything out of this world for being a secret. It's not like, I don't know.
Like you don't feel bad about sharing this top secret with all of our listeners.
Exactly.
Fair.
So yeah, this seek no further. I don't think I'll have to seek any further from another beer from Breakside, because this is legit, but I don't feel like I have to go back and try all of the Seeker Series IPAs now. Thank you. In closing, I think this is going to earn. This is probably a 3.75 for me. It's not. It's an above average IPA. If it's billed as just a plain old IPA, it's not a double. It's not a hazy. It's just an IPA, and it's good. It's a 3.75.
Well, it's better than a 3.5.
That is better than a 3.5.
That's
true.
That is
very true. But I'm really curious how many people have checked this Seek No Further beer in, or does Untapped have all the Seeker Series broken down?
Oh, it's there.
Is it so secret that it's not on Untapped?
No,
right?
It's there. It's on Untapped. It's the most.
I'm gonna feel like if there's like 3,000 check-ins, I'm gonna feel like I was sold a bill of goods here. But...
No, it's 86 check-ins.
Check-in.
Wow, 86 check-ins.
86. So it's like a I'm gonna say it's like a holographic Blastoise from the base set. You know?
Really? Yeah. So because of the hop hype of the limited nature of this, I think people are going to rate it a little higher than I did. I think it's going to be just a 4.0 is my guess. The average is going to be
very close. 3.97. So.
Well, I was closest. I win Man of the People this week.
You do win Man of the People this week. So, yeah, that's I mean, I like, all things aside, I like that concept for that beer though. The fact that very cool. Every month it's different, and you don't know until you check the bottom of the can. I don't know. I think that's pretty fun.
And to have an off-label
on top of that, there's a secret one on top
Right.
of
Yeah.
that.
It's a
It's
secret
awesome.
I was like, oh yeah, I gotta get this. And I got a whole 4-pack. So if I
Nice.
want to ship beers out to you guys can let me know if you think it's worth the hop hype.
Is everything in your 4-pack a different beer?
No, I
Okay.
believe they're all the Seek No Further.
Now you gotta look. 'Cause
Okay.
who knows?
I gotta look. Yeah,
Who
but I would
knows?
imagine that if they come off the line and they pack them all
Right.
together.
I don't know. There was that beer that we talked about probably a couple months ago now, where one of them was like
Ooh,
super
yeah.
spicy. It was like
Oh
at
yeah,
your own risk.
It was
the Russian roulette beer.
the roulette beer. Yeah, the Russian roulette beer. Yeah, where it was a 4-pack of a chili stout, and one of them was made with the Carolina Reaper pepper, and the other 3 were just like jalapenos or something. So, that's actually from Unknown out of Charlotte. So I'm gonna pay attention next year if they have it. I'm doing it. I'm sending the cans out. We're gonna see who loses. I'm so excited. I'm already excited for it. It's gonna be the best.
Now you
So-
do realize you have the most chance of losing
Why is
because
that?
you'll have 2. He'll have
No,
2 cans. And we each
No,
get one.
we're getting someone else in on the pod.
We'll have
We're
a
gonna get someone
4th.
else.
Yeah, we'll have a guest host.
Yep.
Okay.
It'll be fun.
I kind of wish it was like a 6-pack because then we would each have 2, and then the one person would be able
Ooh.
to tell you how much hotter it really is.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
true.
but
That's a true
If
point
it's
too.
if it's a 6-pack, we'll do that. But if it's a 4-pack, I like the guest host idea.
Yeah. Well, see, and that's the thing. Like, what if? Because I'm new to the spicy food game. Like I actually like jalapenos on stuff now, right? So I'm like new to the spicy food game. But Tud is a seasoned veteran.
I know. I
So-
really hope that Tud doesn't get it because he
Right.
would just be like,
Oh,
"Yeah, it's spicy."
I think I got a normal one.
Right.
That was part of what I'm thinking now is maybe this is maybe Chris would find this a little spicy,
Right.
and it just I just don't taste it at all. But I would at least get some pepper flavor. I feel like I can tell when like there's a jalapeno on something.
Right. I
It's
mean,
not like it's so dead that it bothers me.
right. Like if you think about like the jalapeno pale ale from Fat Orange Cat, I forgot what it's called right now, but like
Jalapeno Jack.
there it is, jalapeno Jack. Like it's not spicy, but you
No.
definitely know there's jalapeno in it. It tastes like jalapeno, so
It's delicious.
it is very good. It's one of the better jalapeno beers I've had. So I've had a few, but
I also
yeah.
on a random note, I had a Trillium Stout this past weekend that was vanilla, cacao, and ancho chilies, and that is the first spicy beer that I took a sip and I went, "Oh, this is really spicy."
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
Amazing. Like I drank that whole thing. I think I have another bottle somewhere. Maybe I'll bring it to the pod one day if I'm not going to get made fun of for that. But it was delicious.
At least 30 episodes between Trillium and
Trillium.
appearances.
Yeah,
It's been like 25 at this
it has
point.
been.
It's been a while. It's been a little while.
We did have
we have
Treehouse
listeners.
on
not
like
that long ago.
last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've been good.
2 weeks
I've been
ago.
good.
Yeah. The counter restarts for Treehouse, but Trillium's still going. So you have been a lot better than when we began.
Well, I mean, it's been forever and a day since I've been to Treehouse, and
That's true.
it had been forever and a day up until quarantine that I had gone to Trillium.
Right.
Yeah. Friend of the show, Ben goes to Stowe, Vermont for a week every summer. And this year I Venmoed him some money and said, send me a box of some Stowe beer. So I might be bringing some old New England favorites on eventually.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
I will say that's one thing that I do miss about living in Connecticut is just like you can drive 3 hours and go to this magical beer wonderland that just has the beer hangs from the trees, and like you just go out and pick yourself a nice fresh beer. But I do miss that. But
and there's Ben and Jerry's on
Apparently
every corner.
it's Ben and Jerry's on every corner, and this wonderful alchemist person just runs around with his hat and
The
grants
streets are paved
wishes.
with fish food.
Fish food's the best. I love fish food.
So Courtney, Ben, for those who don't know, Ben's wife, told me that she had some beer for me as well from this brewery that I had never heard of before that's supposedly better than foam. So
wow.
I will have that at some point, hopefully. But I'm also hoping.
We'll edit this out, but was it 4 quarters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She told me that she was gonna give me some for the pod. I was like, oh, okay.
I've heard good things too. But
I'm gonna have to learn how to actual video edit now. Fuck.
Oh no, it's fine. It's just anyway.
But the one thing I'm hoping that I can, on top of the brewery that Courtney was trying to get to me, I want to see if they found Little Sip, because it's available now. It's not available in Connecticut. You cannot get it in Connecticut. It's Vermont only.
Oh, that's how they get you.
Yeah, and I'm like, can I just drive to like the base of Vermont? Can I get it there, or do I have to go like deep into the heart of the Green Mountains?
Deep to Vermont. I don't know. That'd be interesting. Might as well try. Just try.
It's not that far. It's only like 2 hours.
Right. But Tud, I think you have to play that special jingle that we do every time we get an envelope mail. There we go.
The mail's here. That means we get to see our old friend, Mailbox.
There he is.
Here's the mail.
It's the long version.
That's true.
Oh, what a bad sound pull that was.
Okay.
Steven. All right. Really
Don't
quick before
we time, Steve.
Yeah, come on, Steve. That's why I'm gunning for your job. So real quick, good friend, we're going to say envelope letter writer of the pod, Sal, writes in again. Scribe. Ooh, that's good. Scribe of the pod, Sal, writes in again. After the comments that the can smelling much more like graham cracker than the actual pour on your cobbler beer, referring to
last week's episode.
Yep. Curious on your thoughts of swirling the last ounce or so of beer made with a bunch of adjuncts before finishing the pour. I started doing this after rinsing my cans and seeing a lot of goodness come out and down the drain. Sad face. This is traditionally done with some.
Was that drawn in like dash with a?
It's an actual smiley. I can actually see the emoji. Is it an emoji? It's not a smiley anymore. They're emojis.
No, but he wrote it in cursive, right? It's a cursive emoji.
Yes. It's in wingdings. This is traditionally done with some German Hefeweizens, but shouldn't be done while with bottle fermented. Don't want dead yeast, just tasty stuff. So I read this and it hit me in the heart because I do this with all of my beers. So this is a practice that I've been doing, and I don't care what it is. Dead yeast doesn't hurt you.
I was just gonna say, dead yeast provides no wrong flavors. It only provides additional nutrients to your beer. So
right,
Sal,
it's actually healthy.
Pouring away healthiness.
Right.
All those microorganisms that you're throwing away.
Oh. Some people take probiotics every day. So I mean, what's the difference between taking probiotics or drinking yeast?
Probably nothing. Don't write in, listeners. We're pretty sure there's no difference.
Yeah,
we've thought about it. Okay,
it's exactly the same.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah,
Don't even try to convince us otherwise.
So, do either of you do this? Is this a practice?
So let me get this straight, Chris. So you pour 15 ounces in to the glass.
Mm-hmm.
Take that last ounce, swirl it around. This is what Sal's suggesting we do, and then pour that in.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. I have not done this, but maybe I should. It sounds like you guys are both into it. So.
Truthfully, I don't know if it adds. I really don't know if it adds anything. I just don't even think about it anymore. It happens. It happens now.
So I try to take the lazy way out because I'm too lazy to swirl the can around 3 or 4 times to get the bottom to collect. So
right. Impossible.
Right. When I feel that the can is almost empty, or there's not left to pour, usually I've already kind of like ice poured my beer. I don't do crisp pours. I kind of do, almost no head. And then I take the bottom of the can and I turn it upside down. So I violently pour the bottom of the can. into the glass, which comes out with a little bit more force, and usually it shoots that last like 15% of the can deep into the glass, and it can turn.
Let's just call it the splooge, okay?
I've seen some beers from Treehouse in particular that when you do that, they go from sometimes they pour clear like this beer,
right,
and then they go to hazy because of everything that's settled at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So I found if I violently just turn it upside down, dump the rest of the beer in, I get a whole hazy beer from it. So that's been my way of doing it. I guess I could switch the can before I violently poured it, but it just seems like an extra added step.
Right. I mean, I guess I don't know how violently you can pour it. I don't know, because that's what I mean. That's essentially, I do this and then I just turn it upright. So, but
yeah, I turn it 180 degrees
but
upside
like
down.
I'm not like with with force or
Well,
anything.
Just shaking it out like a salt
how
shaker that's stuck.
Shake,
like a
shake.
glass bottle of Heinz ketchup. That's what Chris is doing.
Gotta hit
That's how
Stacking
it.
left-handed milk stout does it. Is they tell you to violently pour by turning it
That is
100
true.
degrees upside down.
That is true. That is how they tell you to pour it. So
I think Sal would be remiss if we didn't emphasize the part of his letter where he said this is for adjunct beers with the added sweeteners. And I know both of you said you do it for the dead yeast on the bottom, but he does not advocate that. He's saying this is only for these flavored beers, or like the Carolina Cobbler we had last week.
I mean,
But-
I do it with everything.
Right.
Yeah, doesn't bother me. Bring
I'll
on
have
the
to try
yeast.
the swirl thing. Yeah, but I'm not afraid of yeast either. I mean, if my beer has floaties in it, floaties have never off put me from drinking a beer.
Depends on what it is, but
I mean, if it's like floating dead yeast, like
oh yeah, no.
Whatever. I mean,
Actually, there was a brewer. I bought a bottle from him, and like he even said, like, at the bottom, you don't have to pour it out. It's not gonna hurt you. It's just dead yeast. And he like told everybody, and like people were sitting there. I'm like, nah, you suckers. There's probably beer in between that yeast. I'm gonna get it all.
Chris has never wanted to let a sip of beer go to waste.
Going back to what we were talking about, 2 minutes ago, there's a certain New England IPA, the OG original Heady Topper, that says drink from the can, because if you pour it out, your beer has floaties in it, because that's just the way that he brewed it.
Yep.
So if you left that bottom 15% in the can, you'd be losing all the Heady Topper goodness.
Right. And we talked about that. That's another throwback. A lot of throwbacks. We're like getting retrospective coming up on 100.
Yeah, after doing 97 episodes, we can't help but reference some things twice.
True. Never again, though.
I do have one thing to bring up too. Speaking of mailbag, I did get mail from. I got 2 pieces of mail. I think we all got mail from my mom.
Oh yeah, I've been meaning to. I wanted to bring this up on the
Yes.
podcast. Yeah.
Where she sent us all Swedish Fish. Shout out to like 10 episodes ago where we were talking about.
Yeah, those hit the spot. Thank
Yeah.
you, Tez mom of the pod. That was great.
I destroyed him.
Yeah.
I still have them because I thought we were going to do something cool with the beer, but I also, as my mom knows, I'm not a big Swedish Fish fan either. So, but
Yes.
she sent it to me anyways because she didn't want to just send you guys Swedish Fish and not send me anything.
Okay.
So, thanks, Mom.
Right.
Next time, #send Reese's.
Again, this is like when she made the wrong kind of Italian pasta for you.
Yeah, right. Oh God, yeah. What the hell? You could have sent me and Obert 1.5 boxes of Swedish Fish, and we would have been very appreciative.
But then I got another gift in the mail. This time from Obert's #Mom of the Pod.
Yep.
And she sent me coasters because we had talked about Obert getting coasters made by his
That's right.
parents.
Yep.
And so
Yeah, my mom made me these coasters, and so she sent you some too. Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. So she sent me some as well. So I thought I'd give a shout out there to say thank you very much. Mine are They're actually the color of Dallas Cowboys. I don't know if your mom did that on purpose because she knew that I was a Cowboys fan. I'm going to say yes, she did.
We'll say probably.
But she did include a nice little note, and just basically said she really enjoys listening to the podcast, and she wanted me to be able to keep my beer safe and not wrecking my new desk.
Nice. And did she mention that you have the best voice of the pod? Was that on there too?
She did. She said,
Yes. Other than my own loving son, who I could never say didn't have the best voice. I'd have to say
I will read it. I will read it verbatim. And keep those frosty mugs of wisdom coming. We appreciate listening to your voice among the doldrums of the other two.
Oh wow!
And then it
really
said,
throwing me into the bus, Mom. Thanks.
Then I got a nice little heart, and she signed it with your parents' names, which I will not, dox them on the podcast.
Thanks.
So, thank you very much for already admitting that I have the best voice. That's another vote for Tud.
I'd also like to thank Obert's mom for my set, which unfortunately is not on my desk, so I don't have anything fun to show.
Doing?
But
what are you doing? Are they Cowboys colors?
They're similar colored. They're over on the counter. I would have to go get them, but yeah, no, I was pretty happy to get them. That was pretty exciting. So, and she actually said that she sent you a decoy note just to make you feel better about sounding so bad on the pod. So,
wow. Okay.
I wasn't supposed to say that. Oh, crap! It says I wasn't supposed to say that out loud.
Well, at least she tried to boost my spirits and boost my confidence.
Exactly.
There we go. Yeah. She should have made them blue and white, because then it would have been Colts for Chris and Bud Light for Tud. It would have been perfect.
True. That's true.
Well, I mean, there's kind of like blue and gray, and I like them.
Yeah.
No, they're really cool. So,
all right. Well, thanks, moms of the pod. And with that, why don't we transition over to our Frosty Mug of Wisdom, where every week we bring you 3 pieces of wisdomy wisdom, which we fill up our mug with, giving you life advice, things we watched, things we've listened to or read, or just things we like. And I know Chris has been champing at the bit all week to get into his handle.
Yeah. I'm so excited. Yeah, we got to do this.
Test your handle.
Oh, yeah.
Test your handle. Test your handle. Test your handle. Mug of wisdom! Drink. Mug of wisdom!
That was perfect, Ted. I don't know what you're talking about. That was awesome.
That's the short version.
I still like the long version, but
The long version is very good. But that
we
was
did say that
also
we played the short version one time, and that's today.
That's right. That's right. And we'll find out what happens next week.
We'll find out. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So, I know we talked about it a little bit on the pregame already, and I've been singing and humming and watching this basically all weekend. But as of July 3rd on Disney Plus, the musical Hamilton is now available to watch. It's the recording from New York City.
From 2016.
Yeah, for back in 2016. So it's got the original cast with Lin-Manuel Miranda and Leslie Odom Jr. and everybody else. I don't know all their names. I know the big two, and Jared and Jonathan Groff is the king of England. But anyway, and I just want everybody to know I've never broadcasted myself as being like a huge musical fan or anything. I'm a big fan of Lin-Manuel Miranda for some of his other things that he's done, as well as just being a really cool guy. Like pretty much
Moana.
I mean, Moana. He's been on.
He did write the entire soundtrack.
Yeah, he definitely helped with that. But he's also a really cool guy. It just seems really chill. And but it was so good. It's just so good. And I don't know. I watched it Friday night when I got home from work with Dana, and then basically had the soundtrack stuck in my head all weekend. I watched it again today, just hanging out, put it on. I mean, the music is great. The voices are great. It like makes me want to go back and watch all these musicals that I probably missed out on that I probably would enjoy, because I like music. I don't know why. I was like,
Yeah.
you know,
So I know what Hamilton is, but if you're a listener who's been living under a rock, could you describe
Ooh,
what it is?
ooh, pick me. Pick me.
Tud, what is
I'm
Hamilton?
I'm saying I'm the listener that's been under the rock.
oh, Tud's
Oh,
Under the Rock.
okay.
So Hamilton is a musical that was written by Lin-Manuel Miranda, that was about the life of Alexander Hamilton, which is one of the founding fathers of the United States. Now, historical accuracies aside, because I don't know how. I mean, I'm sure there are some.
Liberties taken.
Yes, there you go. Thank you. Some liberties
Creative
taken.
liberties.
But spoiler alert. He ends up dying in a duel before. Oh my toes.
See my handle from last week.
Right. Yeah, right, yes. Oh, that's true. Never mind. We ruined it last week. I forgot. But he does
#history spoilers.
yeah, but it takes it through his life, and also not only his life but also the form of the United States kind of simultaneously through the whole thing. So it's pretty cool. It's one of those guys like his name. What's his name, man? Alexander Hamilton. No. But his name through history books and the $10 bill and things like that. But you don't realize like things that he was involved in. Like I didn't know he was the first Secretary of Treasury of the United States. I didn't know that. I mean, there's just some really cool stuff you learn. And the songs are so good and the story is so good, and I don't know. I'm in love with it now, and now I want to see all of the musicals, and I want to be a musician when I grow up.
Well, I think a big part of what sets this musical apart and what makes it different is it takes this kind of like dusty old story from history, and one thing you didn't mention is all of the songs are hip hop.
Right, that's true. Yes.
Yeah, and it's like predominantly the cast is like all people of color as well. So it's like George Washington is black, and Alexander Hamilton's black. Like all these founding fathers are people of color in the musical, and it takes a story that you might have heard a long time ago in history class, and it just like puts a 21st century spin on it by making it hip hop.
Right.
Yeah. One of the cool things, I was that guy who, as I was watching it, was looking up historical accuracies or inaccuracies. But a few of the things I didn't realize was Alexander Hamilton is the only founding father who was an immigrant, and wasn't born in the United States. He also is the only founding father who didn't live deep into like his 60s, 70s, or 80s. So
interesting.
I was wondering why he was chosen to be, the main picture of this film, or this play, just because it's, who in all honesty, who really cares about Alexander Hamilton? And then you start looking into all these things, and like, oh, he actually was, a pretty integral part in this.
Right.
But he also wrote the most 51 out of the 85 Federalist Papers, or 51 out of like the 70. He wrote the majority of the Federalist Papers. Was a big advocate for changing the Constitution to what it is today. The dude did a lot in history and gets almost no credit in school, at least in the school that I went to and the three of us went to.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It's really cool. I'm like, I want to watch it again already, because that's how I do things. As we've gone over in the past, I get obsessed on one thing and watch it over and over and over again.
No, I want to.
But-
I saw it. I want to watch it again too. I'm right there with you. Yeah.
Oh, and the other thing that I thought was cool, and Dana even pointed out, was there's no breaks. It's singing
Yeah.
for
Well,
2 hours and 40 minutes. Like,
we all took musical class together. We took music class.
right.
And I remember the one thing they taught us, the difference between a musical and an opera is all singing, and a
Yeah.
musical has like musical interludes between people talking and stuff. And
Right.
I had to Google, I'm like, is Hamilton an opera? And
So it's got to be an opera then, right?
yeah, people were like, well, technically, but not really.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, it's basically like, it's a hip hop opera. It's just called Hamilton the Musical.
Right. So, go on Disney Plus. If I assume everybody has it at this point, go on Disney Plus, put some time aside, watch it. I don't think you'll be. We blew up my Discord about it today because we're just like going crazy about it. So,
It's also $7 for a month of Disney Plus. So
right.
this musical is worth $7, and then you can also watch The Mandalorian if you haven't gotten around to that yet.
There you go, or The Fox and the Hound, or whatever. Like
Right.
Just consider when you want to go see Hamilton in your town because it's now traveling across the country. When it's not, when we're not in quarantine, it costs like $150 to get a ticket. So for $7, you can get it. You can watch it from the best seat in the house. You can pipe it through your surround sound system, so you can have the best sound in the house surrounding you, and then you can watch it as many times as you want in a month, and then cancel.
Yeah, so worth all of the hype that it had. I know it had a ton of hype. It was worth every hop of it. So
yeah, it definitely was an awesome viewing.
Yeah. So, but anyways, there you go. There's 10 minutes of Hamilton talk. I was waiting all show for it. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. I guess.
Go.
Sure.
Yeah.
Give me that mug. In the interest of not talking about two different things that people should watch this week, because I feel like that's all we've been doing, I'm going to talk about something that I bought for my cat. So we went camping a few weeks ago, and we were trying to figure out how to keep our cat fed and have a clean litter box while we're gone, in case we ever leave for an elongated period of time. It's not like a day.
I thought you were going to say how to keep the cat from getting out of the tent.
Oh, yeah, no. No, our cat's strictly an indoor cat. My wife wanted to buy him a leash and a harness, and I said no. He's an indoor cat. So, anyways, we wanted to figure out how to keep him fed. So we bought an automatic food bowl for the cat. I don't have the name of it. It was like $100 on Amazon, and basically you set it up with your Wi-Fi, and it feeds the cat at designated intervals throughout the day a certain amount of food that it based on its programming knows how much your cat weighs. Like you have to put in, like, our cat weighs 7.5 pounds. So it said, based on your 7.5 pound cat, he should have 3/10 of a cup 3 times a day. So 3 times a day, this machine spits out 3/10 of a cup into the bowl for the cat.
Sounds fancy.
Interesting.
It is very fancy.
Yeah, that's like way better than what we do, which is just like feed them all the same amount, and literally when you feed them dry food, it's gone in like 2 minutes. I don't know how they do it. They eat so fast.
Our cat doesn't really eat, so like there's like
it's not a problem in this household. Cats eat in this
Well,
household.
you got competition, so it's like you better eat fast or your food's gonna get eaten by a different cat.
That's true.
So Simba doesn't eat a lot. So what happens is I had to get rid of one of the feed. He doesn't get fed at noon anymore. He gets fed in the morning and at night. And then some days I have to go in there and I have to manually skip feedings because you can turn off feedings per day because there's just so much food built up in his bowl. So
maybe he's planning a party.
Yeah. I heard you can have up to 100 people in Connecticut now. So maybe, how many cats is that is equivalent to?
I think 7 cats is 1 human.
Okay.
I think that's the breakdown, right?
Yeah, so he's having a huge cat party coming up.
But yeah, so that's my handle. If you have a cat, they have them for dogs too. So if you're kind of another thing, I mean, I'll say it feeds into my laziness of not having to get up and shake his bowl, because before he had just had one of those gravity bowls that kind of just the food just kind of fell down, but it didn't pour properly as most of those do.
Mm-hmm.
So this just does it for me. So it's the ultimate laziness where I just don't have to feed my cat anymore. I just have to fill up this bin every couple weeks when it's empty.
Yeah, can't complain about that.
Yeah. So I'll hand the mug off to you, Obert, now.
All right. Let me close it out this week with a book. And this is, so Larissa recommended a book from the same author to me. This is a book from Neil Stevenson. And the book I want to recommend this week is called Snow Crash. It's a sci-fi story written in 1992. It was published. And it's very much has that like early internet vibe to it, where it's like nobody really knew what the internet was going to be back in 1992. But so even though it's like very much some of that is a little bit hokey and corny, Snow Crash is still a really great book. It follows the main character's name literally is Hero Protagonist, and it takes someplace in the distant future, and he's a pizza delivery skateboarder who works for the mafia that controls the pizza delivery business, and it takes place in a futuristic North America where the United States of America no longer really exists, and everything is run by corporations like the pizza company he works for. And there's like private police and jails and everything like that. So it's a kind of a funny take on what that future America would look like if corporations ruled everything.
It sounds kind of like Orwellian a little bit.
Yeah, not really. It's more like cyberpunky, in a way. But it's a really fun book. I haven't read it. I probably read this book maybe 4 years ago, but because Laura's recommended a book from the same author, and she's been on fire with our handles lately, I had to say, well, let me recommend a different book from the same author that I've read. And Marissa, if you're listening, you should check this book out, Snow Crash. It's really good. I know, Chris, you are always looking for something to listen to on your commutes, so check it out. It's pretty good.
So
nice.
So I'm assuming in this book they don't talk about iPhones.
I don't know what the cell technology is like in this book. I don't think that they really have cell phones. But there's definitely no iPhones. No, they don't relate anything to like a specific company that exists today. They kind of come up with parallels of equivalent companies that would be
like grapefruit.
Yeah, and
right.
I wouldn't be surprised if like Domino's was the pizza company. They were like saying, well, like, wouldn't it be funny if they were run by like the Italian mafia or something like that? Yeah.
And so with that, we'd like to thank the breweries who provided today's beers, and thank Against the Grain for the Bay and Pepper Your Breaths.
I'd like to thank Gizmo Brewworks for their Shelter in Place series Double New England IPA.
And I want to thank Breakside for the Seek No Further.
Please make sure you head over to all social media and follow us at DAWF Podcast. Also, make sure you follow the email at dawfpodcast@gmail.com. Also, if you'd like, head over to our Discord and join the discussion there. That's more of a real-time discussion with the listeners and us. But definitely, if you have any comments, kind of like Sal sent over today, or that we read last week from Jordan when he sent us the Mug of Wisdom theme song, make sure you're sending those emails over there. Also, make sure that you're heading over to Patreon and subscribing there if you want to hear our pregame episodes. This week we had Obert do the pregame episode where he drank another one of these recommended beers from this guy at the bottle shop, and we talk a little bit more about Hamilton over there this week too, in case you want to join in there. So for as little as $1 a month, you get a whole extra 20 to 25-minute episode. Also, make sure if you'd like to see our awesome bearded faces, head over to YouTube. You can watch us over there. And with that, if nobody has anything else, my name's Tud.
My name's Chris.
And I'm Obert. And remember, if you're drinking alone, do it with friends.
Should we sing it?
Totally.